In this analysis, I use Goffman's Sociology of Impression Management, Framing, Footing, and Face to shed light on a message of onboarding in a national organization. A presentation analysis using Goffman's Sociology of Impression Management is applied to an external-facing communication regarding the development of an onboarding program for local leaders, in which the audience needs to connect with the communicator due to the impact of the message on both parties involved, the local and national organizations. First, in presenting the case, I'll define onboarding. Onboarding or organizational socialization is generally understood to mean the process of integrating new employees in an organization. Onboarding usually lasts 6 to 12 months, builds a relationship between the new employee and manager, facilitates the new employee's ability to contribute in the new role, reinforces her or his decision to join the organization, and encourages commitment and engagement. The message is that onboarding is important. It is also that retention of new CPOs is important. At the national level, there's a disconnect between the message they are externally sending out and the one internally presented. It is complicated and multifaceted because there is a donor who gave money for consulting, and while improving the process of onboarding for CPOs does help at the local level, it also helps with the national image and leveraging of future resources through the retention of local talent. However, the externally facing message is not complete, not necessarily inaccurate, just not complete. Let's evaluate the perception of the previous onboarding message attempts based on impression management, framing, footing, and face. Goffman describes impression management as communication used to create a desired impression. There are several questions worth investigating here to assist in the understanding of the impression given. What is the impression the organization is trying to make? The impression the national organization is trying to make is that it is willing to invest at the local level in the onboarding of CPOs in order to retain good leaders. What is the expression the organization gives? These are the verbal symbols used to convey the information. The national organization is giving off the expression that they are investing in the onboarding of CPOs to help at the local level. Now, this is only happening internally as it relates to the overall strategic goals for the national organization, which is still an external message. But it has not gone out to the general public or local organizations that should benefit from such a program. All work on onboarding has been internal so far. What is the expression that is given off? These are the actions performed for reasons other than the information conveyed. The expression given off is that the national organization benefits from this, yet this is not the message conveyed. Goffman states that front signifies that part of the individual's performance regularly functions in a general and fixed fashion to define the situation for those who observe the performance. In other words, the front can help define the situation for those who observe it, as it is usually a presentation of the organization's activities. In this example, the front is the development of the onboarding program with the use of a consulting company. It is not unusual for a donor to give restricted funds designated for a particular program. In this case, it is the onboarding program. In other words, the development of a program encouraged by a funder is part of the regular functions of the organization. Goffman contrasts the front with the backstage, which is a place where the impression fostered by the performance is knowingly contradicted. As the development of a new program is not unlikely in the national organization, in this case the benefit is not just for the sake of the local organizations. Although the forward-facing message details the motivation to help local organization, it also helps the national organization in the recruitment efforts of potential resources. The more successful a local organization is, the more successful the national organization is. This is not a negative situation. It's just that the message presented neglects to address this point. What is it that is going on here, and how is the situation set up? The situation set up that the national organization is focusing on onboarding efforts at the local level for the sake of the CPOs. What is the relation between the spokesperson and the message? The initiative and message is being passed down by the CEO and vice presidents at the national level, which act as the principals of the message. This gives the initiative and message great footing at the national level because many performance plans for 2014 are based on the success of this initiative. The authors design the message, and those include the consultants and the executive development services team. And the animators speak the message, and these include executive development services team members and directors of operational development. What is the public self-image the organization wants to claim for themselves? The public self-image that the organization wants to claim for itself is that of being helpful to the local organizations. It is also creating a, quote, big brother image because it is swooping in to save the local organizations because it is perceived that they cannot save themselves. Now that I've analyzed the case according to Goffman's impression theory, I will move to the strategies to take in the future in a similar situation based on his theory. In this strategy phase, the assessor uses the goals for the messaging scenario to discern possible actions and uses the following framework for offering suggested strategies for the scenario. Some strategies that could be used in the future to enhance messaging through impression management could include being forthright about the resources acquired for the program development. Furthermore, being forthright about the motive for developing the program. If the program is being developed to assist both the national and local organizations, then that should be communicated. While a case to help the local organization is important, it is not the only one. Therefore, the message shouldn't just consist of one, but both. Some strategies that could enhance the message through framing could strive to set up the message from both the national and local perspectives. It also could include the history of the statistics that drive the need to develop a new program, the donor's goals in giving such a large donation to the initiative, and the partnership between CPOs and the national staff necessary for the success of the program. Some strategies that could enhance the messaging through footing could include having a number of animators to deliver the message. If the local organization communicates with their national representative or the director of operational development, then it might be beneficial for them to receive the message from them. This will ensure buy-in at the local level without the message seeming mandated and or one-sided from national to local organizations. Some strategies that could enhance messaging through face would be to address the self-image that is desired prior to the communication process. If partnership between locals and the national organization is important and this is the face they wish to portray, then a strategy to build partnership into the messaging process would be beneficial. Finally, while the initiative to communicate is important, it is just as important to consider how the message is being communicated. Goffman's Sociology of Impression Management provides a tool for analyzing both the message presented and the opportunity for relationship building between two organizations. The message that communicates a need for onboarding is clear. The reasons this need arose, when it did, and the motivations for developing such a program were not as clear. Therefore, while the framing sets up the need on the CPO's behalf well, it does challenge the real need from the national perspective. It is important as both strive to leave a legacy of leadership and sustainability in their communities. The process of partnership is important in the communication of this message. Both entities benefit from working together and having a consistent message to convey.